Hey, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rage, and we are back today with the next update here in regards to the upcoming event for the Lunar Rebirth, resetting this upcoming weekend. But yeah, this event is going to be the next leaderboard opportunity here if you want to build up some opportunities for, additional T3 ISO 8. There's diamond orbs actually for the ancient one. There's crimson bio gear and so forth. But yeah, how you're going to be getting points overall is going to be the utilization of missions in Battle World. There's also shadow orb fragments from campaign nodes, and it doesn't say here specifically if it's going to be ISO 8 or regular campaign, so we'll have to see when it goes live. But overall, usually you shouldn't have to hoard for these events unless you've already done it, which makes it even easier, obviously. And then if you battle with certain characters, you're going to be getting bonus points as well. In this case, Captain Britain, Thanos Endgame, Illuminati, the new Astro team, as well as Annihilators in Blitz. It's going to give you some additional bonuses there, but you'll see pretty shortly here, it's also going to be dependent on the star levels that you have of some of these certain characters. And really, I think the big question you have to be asking yourself is, how much do you care about this event? Because overall, aside from the ISO 8 purple, diamond orbs potential here and there, there's not really much to gain from this event, as you'll see. But let me show you the leaderboard. If you care about this, then you may want to be using power cores for this weekly event, because as you can see, the top 1,000 players will get access to a diamond of ancient 1. Obviously, it'll give you more ISO 8 ions if that's what you're working your way towards for Dark Dimension 8 and so forth. Now, this event also needs to be relying on some component from the web milestone. So this has been the same thing for the last month and a bit now, which is the spending of either turkeys or candy on the web milestone located on the MarvelStrikeForce.com website. So you have to make sure you're logged in and make sure you're obviously registered so you can be claiming this, because this is going to be making a pretty sizable chunk of the points here. So this is the chart. You can see, there's an opportunity obviously to gain the additional shadow orb fragments and lunar rebirth points, but more importantly too, there's a chance here actually for the Doctor Strange ultimate awaken ability material. So remember, these awaken materials are very important for the Astro team, because essentially it makes them usable in war. It gives them dual purpose value, especially if you're thinking about using them already in Astro. Well, by having these awakened materials allows them to have that capability in war. And more importantly too, there's actually some additional uptake here in gold, so definitely want to do the best you can for this event. And usually it's only 300,000 over the span of the 7 days, which is very, very feasible. I've had no issues doing that for the past couple weeks here. So that actually has about 40,000 total points that we want to be able to add to the event. So that's why I want to start with that, because it's just simpler. And if you want to take a look at the full chart, this is it right here. I like the previous format where you could actually just, have that information, but I guess this does give you a bigger image here, hence why they probably went back to this method of just consolidating it in links and then obviously selecting like this with the image here. But yeah, you guys can see here to the right, there's going to be turkeys available. There's, Oath, Night Stalker orb fragments, gold promotion, and so forth. Obviously, ISO 8 ions that we can take advantage of, which is huge here to obviously build up those characters. But the one you want to be gunning for is this Lunar Scepter, because it's going to be adding points to the monthly. But like I said before, it's not that crazy in terms of the event, because there's not really anything else to go for in terms of just resources, as well as turkeys if you want to take advantage. I think if you really want to push for it, later on there is like 160,000 turkeys right there and another 200,000 right there. But those are typically probably going to be needing some spending, especially the second last milestone there for the 200,000 turkeys, morely probably for the whales and spenders. So just be mindful of that. I also want to point out how the points are going to be attributed before I show you the breakdown of my math and what I'm going for. You can see earning the shadow orb fragments from campaign or ISO 8. We don't know yet, but it's probably going to be one of the two. You only get 1 point per, so it's probably going to be, well, in my math anyways, I use 6 points because that's kind of how it works out. But we'll see when it comes to fruition, because usually it's going to be pretty close to that mark. Winning or losing in Battle World is going to give you 60,000 points. So that's very notable. Got to make sure you're engaged in that. And then otherwise, blitzing with Annihilator and Illuminati characters, it's going to give you a total of 30,000 points there. That's very, very notable. It's going to add a sizable amount once again. And this is the other aspect of this too, right? This is where I think a lot of players like myself, being free to play, you may not have, Thanos Endgame at 6 stars, Captain Britain at 6 and 7, Ancient One at 5 stars plus, Emma Frost X-Men at 5 stars plus. So a lot of this probably won't apply, with the exception of the blitzing with Illuminati and Annihilator characters. So that in a nutshell is the event, guys. Those are all the different components involved. And again, I think I would highly recommend the goal of aiming for that Lunar Scepter, which is milestone 14, 160,000 points. Really, because that's basically the only thing that's worth gaining from this event and milestone, just because of the fact that that's really what's needed for the monthly, and everything else is kind of just noise. So this is my math here, guys. Just to simplify it as well as what I'm going for, I do believe that this is one of those like skippable events that even if you don't want to be partaking in this, by all means, you don't have to, because I'm not going to be spending any power cores. I'm just going to be playing the game. And it's potentially intended to sink folks' resources, especially with Shadow King right around the corner. Actually, right after the conclusion of this event or around that same timing, and that's kind of intentional from their part, right? They always want to deplete folks' resources. So again, to recap, Lunar Rebirth, 7-day event. Campaign energy, like I said, I'm not sure if it's gonna be ISO or campaign yet, but we'll see. But we need this to be close to a 6 points per energy conversion for the math to work out here without power cores, just because of typically they allow most folks free to play to at least get the monthly item unless their math is wrong somewhere. Battle World, like I said earlier, it's going to be adding a sizable 60,000 points, so you definitely want to be winning or losing those battles. Regardless, it's going to give you a good chunk here. Blitzing with Annihilator and Illuminati characters is going to give you 30,000. And then, assuming from what we've seen in the past events with Reclaim, usually it's about 500 points per day. They haven't strayed that far from this determination for quite some time, so we'll keep it as that, which gives us 3,500 for the 7 days. And then finally, we have the web milestone that I covered, which gives us a total of 40,000. When you add all this together, it's going to be close to 160,000 points, which is exactly what you'll be getting for the Lunar Scepter. So doing everything here at status quo, making sure that you're doing the bare minimum, it should get you close to that 160,000 points for Lunar Scepter. But the good news with this is that you don't waste any resources. You're just basically playing the game. Probably need to core once here for the additional energy, so that way you can actually get this to 160. But that's my game plan there overall, because of the fact that obviously there's nothing else to gain from this event. So guys, be careful with your resources. Save those power cores for obviously if you want to capitalize on opening Emma Frost or Ancient One. I highly recommend that instead of this event here, as this is just one of those skippable events and you basically just want to be gaining the monthly and then on to the next one. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what your game plan is. Thank you for your time as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.